Alright, so today we're going to be installing a backup camera into this 2009 Dodge Caliber. It's a 5-speed manual transmission, and we already have a screen in the car, as you can see there, and we're just going to be installing a backup camera. So this is how the process is going to go. So first off, these are the tools that you will need. We'll need a couple screwdrivers, we'll need some wiring pliers, we'll need the actual backup camera itself, some butt caps, and some dielectric grease. Alright, so the next thing we'll need to do is pop off this faceplate so we can get behind the screen to where our video input is going to go. So what we're going to need to do first is pop out these 2 screws, and if you haven't already taken your boot cover off, take that off, and then pull this out a little bit, and then you're going to want to take a screwdriver and pop this faceplate off at all of the sides and get that all popped out. Alright, so now we have the base plate completely loose, and if you have the base model like me, where you have to like manually select where the air is blowing from, on the back, you'll be able to see this, but there's this little cable attached to the back of that, and we need to pop that off so that we can pull the rest of this faceplate off. Along with pulling this cable out, you'll see that little black piece that's holding the actual cable in itself. We need to pop that out to be able to get the rest of this faceplate off. Alright, we've successfully popped out the cable, and now we can get to our actual screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out these 4 nuts and pull the whole screen out itself, and then we're going to get into some wiring. Alright, we've loosened up those 4 screws now, and we can easily get to our screen. So what we're going to do is go behind it and actually unplug all of our connections so we can completely pull this radio out and get to the back of it a little easier. Alrighty, so now you can see here my old radio harness where I wired it into the new one, and you can see all of those butt cap connections back there, and then this is the new piece that plugs into our radio. So I've located the wire. This is our green white wire, so this will be our reverse. So when we put it into reverse, then that is what's going to trigger the screen to light up and show me my backup camera view. Forgot to mention it earlier, but another good tool to have would be a rag to wipe off any extra dielectric grease, because that stuff gets everywhere and it is very annoying. So we're going to go ahead and wipe down this wire and extend it back out. Okay, now that we have this wire all cleaned off, we're going to take our wires, and we see that this is our reverse lamp. So what we're going to do is we're going to butt cap these 2 together, and that is going to be our reverse backup connection. And then this yellow part actually plugs into the back of our radio, as you can see there. So that is our video connection and our reverse light. So let's go ahead and wire that. Alright, so now we have those 2 wires connected through a butt cap. So we're going to take our wire and we're going to plug it into our radio, and then we're going to run the rest of our wire into the back and do some wiring back there. Alrighty, so as you can see now, I've completely taken out the taillight. So we had these little pins that just hold the taillight in, just like this. So you pop those 2 out, and then I just ran a little screwdriver back here and kind of popped it out at me, and then I took it out and actually took the wires off just so we have a little bit of an easier time getting at them. Alright, while we were back here, I just gave it a little scrub down because it was pretty dirty. Alrighty, so after a little bit more looking around, I found out that our white green is our positive and our black is our ground/negative. So we're going to be connecting these 2 wires right here to our ground and our positive charge. So let's go ahead and do that. Alrighty, so now we have our wires all capped together in this butt cap, and so we have our reverse cable here, and now we need to run our ground wire to this black wire right here. Alright, so I thought I'd show you this process of how I butt cap these all together. But what I do is I take my dielectric grease and my butt cap, and I actually just put it on there and give it a little shot of dielectric grease, just to kind of get a little bit in there. So as you can see, we have a little bit down in there now, and we're just going to put our wires right in there, and then I have a wire tool, and we're just going to squeeze it together. Okay, as you can see now, we have all of these wires rigged up, and what we're going to do is take our other video positive charge, and we're going to put it actually with these guys as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Alrighty, so we have all of our connections done now, and we got our camera right here, and if I point it up the ceiling like this, can actually see the live feed on the camera. So we have successfully installed it, but now we need to do some cord management, because as you can see here, we have all of this cord mess and just wires everywhere. So I'll be right back, and I'm gonna go ahead and tuck all these wires. Alrighty, so we got my radio completely dismantled again. I had to disconnect this wire and our reverse trigger wire. And so now what I'm gonna do is run the wire from essentially the back of the radio all the way down below my floor plates, all the way to the back. And I'm gonna try to pop out that back plate and run my wires right to my tail light. All right, so now what I've done is I've popped the glove box down by pushing these two tabs in at the same time and kind of maneuvering it down. And so now what I'm doing is popping this little plate off here so we can run the wire right below that and then eventually up into there. So I'm gonna finish pulling this out and then I'll update you guys next. All right, so we got that plate out. As you can see, we got a straight wire connection all the way up there, and then we've run this here, and I'm just gonna run the cord right behind this here and tuck it up. And what I've done is I've popped out my little seat hole, and so now we're gonna go back here, and I've popped out this little rubber holder, and we're gonna try to get our wire from there right to this hole here, and then it should be smooth sailing from there. Okay, so now what I've done is completely detach this wire from the back light. So this wire is completely free right now. I've run it up through under my glove box and through here. And we're gonna connect these two back again together, put my radio all back in, and then we're gonna finish running the wire back. All right, so now we've got the wire run all the way to the back. And so we got my jumble there still, and we got our wire here. So we're gonna go ahead and connect these two. Alrighty, so we've rewired up the camera, so let's see if it works. Alright, yep, so we're good there. Let's go clean up some more wires. Alright, so we have the backup camera all installed. What I did was just run my wires through this floor plate here. I cut this wire thinking that I'd be able to run this one up through my hatch and up through my license plate hole, but it didn't actually work out, so I just capped all those ends back together. I would not recommend cutting those. And other than that, we have everything installed. As you can see, we have the backup camera all installed. Alrighty, so we have all the panels back on, we have our tire back in, and we have our cover back on. So everything should be wrapped up here. I think it turned out pretty nice. This was my first time ever putting in a backup camera, so it was definitely a bit of a messy process, but in the end we got it to work. And we put it in reverse, lights up, you can see it behind us, and overall I think it went pretty well.